good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of the show. I'm Samson Oloride. We have so much in store for you. I will definitely start from the world of golf. And talking about golf, we'll have to talk about the controversial Super League Golf, also known as the Golf 54 Invitational Series, with several sponsors now, dropping various PGA Tour players who have signed up for the deals, and the likes of Dustin Johnson, Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, among others, have now been dropped by their various sponsors as a result of this. You have the RBC, which is the Royal Bank of Canada, dropping Graham McDowell, the 2010 US Open champion, as well as Dustin Johnson, for signing up to the Saudi-backed Super Golf League, also known as Golf 54 Invitational Series. And it's not just about them. You also have UPS, that's the Global Courier Service, also dropping Lee Westwood in terms of, his association with the controversial Super Golf League. And this is coming despite Lee Westwood having a 14-year relationship with UPS. So various sponsors are coming up. We still have the likes of Callaway, TaylorMade, as well as Pink, who are yet to decide if they will also drop or severe ties, with the various players who have signed up for the controversial tournament. Talking about the tournament itself, that's the Super Golf 54. You have it's a 48-man tournament, and 42 players have signed up for it thus far. Sergio Garcia is one of them as well. And out of 48, as I said, 42 have signed up. It's a 48-man tournament, which will be divided into 12 teams. The event is set to take place from the 9th to the 11th of June at the Centurion Club in Herefordshire, and you can be rest assured that it will attract attention, considering it coincides with the Canada Open, which is the golf tournament on the PGA Tour. So this is about the Saudi-backed Golf 54 series, and the tournament itself is $25 million worth in terms of prize money, or the purse, if you want to call it that, with the winner going on with $4 million. Lots of money there, and that explains why players are moving on from there. And for total prize money, there will be 8 of them. For talking about the series, the tournament, 8 of them. The total prize money for all 8 will be $255 million, and with 7 regular tournaments having the prize purse bid of $25 million, with the winner going on with $4 million. So lots of money. That explains why the players are leaving. Talking about one high-ranked player leaving, former world number 1, Dustin Johnson. Let's talk about Dustin Johnson. Dustin Johnson, yes, has signed up for the controversial Saudi-backed 54 Invitational Series. And this is after getting a whooping $125 million in terms of commitment fee to the Saudi-backed 54 Golf Series. Now, you have to understand that for Dustin Johnson is the 3rd highest paid player of all time when it comes to the world of golf, or rather the 3rd highest earner of in the world of golf, behind Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson as well. $74.3 million, that's his career earnings on the PGA Tour. But to be able to commit to the Saudi-backed 54 Invitational Series, he got paid $125 million. And for a man who has earned $74 million over the course of almost 20 years of playing golf, and suddenly gets $125 million on a platter of gold, it's quite understandable that the former world number 1 shifted ground. So Dustin Johnson, as a result of committing now to the the 54 Invitational Series, he had his contracts with the Royal Bank of Canada severed. Justin was the 2018 champion for the Canada Open, which is taking place simultaneously with the 54 Invitational Series. And for Justin, 24 PGA titles. You have 2 majors, as well as I said earlier, $74.3 million in career earnings. Lots of money going around, and for these players, it's all about getting the money at this point in time. Still, 6 fields are open. Remember, I said the 54 Invitational Series is a 48-man tournament. 42 players have signed up, 6 more to go, and you can be rest assured that within the coming days, we'll probably have 6 more players from the PGA Tour also defect to the 54 Invitational Series. Now let's talk some business, talking about business news. I will start with the U.S. Open. The 2022 U.S. Women's Open at Pine and Needles Lodge and Golf Club in Southern Pines, North Carolina, is setting a standard in gender pay equality. The 4-day event will have a record $10 million purse up for grabs, a $4.5 million increase compared to last year. Compared to last year's tournament, I beg your pardon, at the Olympic Club in San Francisco. Now, increasing the purse is a step to closing the gender pay gap. The men's 2021 U.S. Open purse was $12.5 million, with the winner, John Ram, taking home $2.3 million. The 2022 Masters at Augusta National had a purse of $15 million, up from $11 million in 2021, while the winner of this year's U.S. Open Women's Open would take home only $1.8 million. The boosted purse comes after the USGA and non-profit organization ProMedica agreed to a long-term partnership in January that included presenting partner rights and elevating U.S. Women's Open purse. The deal also requires the purse to reach $12 million by 2026. Now, in the world of basketball, Lebron James missed the playoffs this year, but he still managed to do something no NBA player has ever done, and that is being the first active player to reach a net worth of over $1 billion, and this is according to Forbes. The Lakers star has earned $385 million in salary from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and the Los Angeles Lakers, but his endorsements, investments, and ventures have brought him into the three-comma club. James holds an estimated $300 million in equity in the entertainment venture Spring Hill Capital Company, I beg your pardon, which he founded with Maverick Carter. Spring Hill, a producer on last year's Space Jam: A New Legacy, was valued at $725 million after a $100 million raise in 2020. A stake in Fenway Sports Group, owner of the Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park, Liverpool, and Pittsburgh Penguins, is valued at $90 million. Forbes estimates that James has $80 million in real estate and $30 million through his stake in Blaze Pizza. On top of his most publicized investments, James is believed to hold over $500 million in cash, stock, and other assets. James is the second highest paid athlete in the world this year, with $121.2 million behind only Lionel Messi at $130 million, according to Forbes. While Messi gets most of that through his salary, James earns $80 million off the cut. Still talking basketball, with NBA playoff ratings soaring and a potential finals classic in the making, ticket prices are rising to new highs. The secondary market's average list price for Warriors Celtics is currently $3,241, the second most expensive final series since Ticket IQ started tracking. Last year's Bucks and Suns series fell about $500 short from this year, while the most expensive ticket still belongs to a 2019 Warriors-Raptors finals, which averaged $3,899 per seat. Golden State's home average for the series is $3,526, which is the highest of the Dubs' 6 trips to the finals since 2015, while Boston's average of $2,860 ranks second in Eastern Conference history. Now, the big market allure and superstar shine could lead to a bigger spike in ticket prices as this season's finals series goes on. Game 1 tickets currently run from $750 to an eye-watering $25,274. If the series goes 7, it will cost a minimum of $1,479 to get into the building and $81,533 to sit courtside. Warriors owner Joe Lacob will finally get a show of Golden State's Chase Center on the biggest stage built roughly for $1.4 billion in 2019. Wow, yeah, that's about it. Talking about, keeping you abreast of sports business stories at this time, and what a whooping amount of money that is. Talking about the NBA Finals ticket. And talking about the NBA Finals, we had Game 1 at the wee hours of today, where the Boston Celtics emerged champions, or emerged winners, I beg your pardon, over the Golden State Warriors. Now, let's move away from there and talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I've got a guest right here in the studio who joins me right about now. Olalekan Adebayo, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Wow,
always a pleasure.
Why in the, should we say post-COVID era, so we can, we can fist
course,
bump now?
Of course.
It's good to have you around.
Yes,
Super Eagles of Nigeria, second successive friendly. Just 4 days ago, they lost 2-1 to Mexico. This time around, Ecuador, another loss. 2 matches from Pesero, 2 losses. What do you make?
Well, I would say, it's too early to predict, but Playing against Mexico. Mexico, on paper, they're a better side. You
Yep.
know, they're a better side. But Ecuador, losing 1-0 to Ecuador, it's not.
It's questionable.
Yes, it's questionable, but like I said, it's too early to judge, and it's a friendly. So obviously, it's testing the players, it's seeing their strengths, it's seeing their weaknesses, and where he can improve more. So we hope that he improves the players from this place onward.
But let's look at it. I mean, early goal considered, against Mexico. In the match again yesterday, or rather this morning, it took place 1:30 a.m. Nigerian time. So this morning, another early goal we considered within the first 2 minutes 50 seconds of the match. Is it a lack of concentration, at the beginning of the... What exactly is wrong? 2 matches right now, back to back, we've seen early goals considered.
I think we talked about the Nigerian defense generally.
Generally, yes.
So I think it starts from there. 2 things: is that bringing in, is that scouting
New
defenders, or trying to improve these ones, or changing the tactics. I think he said something about he's planning to change the tactics of the way the game. So I think he should change the tactics. Maybe we're having a slow start to the games. So I think that will probably be the problem.
Okay, some have said that, yes, we've lost 2 successive games, but the performance is good in terms of the style of play. What do you make of it over the 2 games we've seen?
I would say he brought his own ideology of his own kind of gameplay.
Yep.
And we have seen it. And of course, it's a national team. It's not like a club that plays week in, week out. So I think it will take time for them to get that ideology and that kind of gameplay.
Okay, let's see how that fares. I'm talking about Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, 2 losses on the bounce. In fact, we're winless in our last 5 matches. We lost to Tunisia, talking about the 2nd round of the African Cup of Nations. We lost to Ghana. We drew at Ghana, the Kumasi game. And we also drew right here at home, 1-1, where we failed to qualify for, the World Cup. And now we've lost 2 successive, friendly games. So 5-match winless streak for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But it will count on the 9th of June. That's just, 6 days from now, when the Super Eagles takes on, Sierra Leone right here in Abuja, talking about the home match against Sierra Leone. It is the qualifier for the AFCON 2023 Nations Cup. So let's see how they fare. That's the decisive one. It's not just the friendlies, but I understand friendlies also have an impact on rankings among others. Let's see how they fare. Remember, it's not just June 9th alone. On June 13th, the Super Eagles will also travel to play Sao Tome and Principe, still talking about the African 2023 Nations Cup. So there's so much to play for, talking about Super Eagles.